another episode of Finish the Race podcast, where we talk about overcoming adversity, depression, suicidal thoughts, mental barriers, whatever it might be, how you escaped or overcame something that was really being a deterrent to your progress through life. So today, the guest,
Well,
Kane,
yeah,
normally behind the camera, but he got in front of it today.
yeah, it's a little bit weird today. It's a little bit weird. I'm gonna get used to it now.
Yeah, you'll be fine. You'll be good. Something to warm us up.
Oh
You can
yeah,
go ahead and take a cookie jar out.
gotcha.
That'll ease the tensions a little bit,
Let's
hopefully.
mix it around a little bit.
There you go.
All right, let's see what we got. Let's see. Oh, okay. Sounds like somebody's trying to get right. Question is, what's your zodiac sign? I'm a Scorpio, born November 12th, 2005, meaning I am 17.
That's so
18 in
weird.
a couple months.
2005, damn. Um, I guess I'll be serious. Normally I make fun of it. I'll be serious this time. I'm a Libra. Uh, 2 days I'm gonna be 25.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That's officially old man age, ain't it, intro?
No,
Ain't that
No.
ain't that an old man age?
no, not at all.
What you planning on doing?
Not much. I don't really celebrate my birthday.
I understand that.
Not for a long. I hadn't for a while. I just like being with people I love. That's what I'm doing this weekend. So I got to see my boys in Raleigh last night. Getting to do what I love the most, podcast today, and then tomorrow I'm gonna go to my home church and then go see my parents.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
It's gonna be a good time.
Oh yeah.
And then go back to Boone and maybe I'll do a little celebrating there. Not nothing crazy though. Nothing too wild. Um, 2005. Wow,
Yeah.
that's great. When do you graduate?
2024. We graduate in May. Graduating earlier this year because we used to graduate we used to like
June
the end of the
10th.
school year being like June something like yeah.
Hmm.
Started us up early this year, so
Okay. Um. Well, look, you know this podcast is about how you overcame adversity, how you overcame maybe if you had depression or anxiety or just not living in fear, how you got out of fear. So throughout your childhood experiences, your upbringing, what was something that you faced that you felt was a struggle then, but you were able to become bigger than it?
that's a good question. That's a really good question. I have to say, whenever I was younger, I struggled with epilepsy, and I was diagnosed whenever I was 2, and eventually I just stopped taking my medicine one day, and you know, parents got on to me about it. They're like, "Hey, what happened? You're due for a refill. Like, there's still all this medicine in your bottle." Da 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 da. I'm just like, yeah. You gave it up to me to start taking my medicine every day, and I'm only 7. I'm not gonna do that. So there's that. And I mean, I got told like all my life I would never be able to play any sports or anything like that. And just recently, I was on the football team. Played football for actually what 4 years. Played football
Nice.
4 years. I started my 8th grade year, and it was an experience. I will say that it was really cool.
What did you could you tell if the drugs that you took for epilepsy if it had an effect on you, like even back then, in a negative way maybe?
There were certain medicines that made me really sleepy. I think there was another one that I took that like made me really really sick. And remember there was this one time I think my mom had went off to like a concert or something like that. Something where she was gonna have fun finally and get out the house, and well, turns out she ended up getting a call from my grandmother saying that I had gotten sick, threw up all over the floor, and they ended up having to airlift me to the hospital, and that was due to the medicine and stuff like that. And they were like, okay, yeah, we cannot put him back on that.
Yeah. Right. Medical stuff's scary, dude. Cause it's one thing like the only people that know how to solve it is just this one group,
Yeah.
the doctors and stuff. So you got to put trust in them. So you can't just like lay around and be like, "Wow, we'll figure it out eventually." It's hard because it's like putting your life in their hand.
Yeah,
It's a difficult thing to do.
it's one of the hardest things I feel like I've had to experience because like even down to just getting blood pulled, like not like at a young, like it was just terrifying. Cause like I remember like my mom still tells stories to this day about how I used to throw a tantrum whenever I had to go to the doctor, and especially whenever they had to draw blood, like like I remember vividly multiple doctors walking into the room like, what is going on? Why is he screaming? And like having to hold me down just so they can get blood,
Mm.
just because I didn't like needles. I didn't know what I was doing there, and I didn't understand everything.
Yeah, I can relate to that heavy. I got blood drawn all the time, and every time without fail I'd pass out. Every time. But I used to fight it, and then I just gave in. I was like, I know I'm gonna pass out, so just go ahead and do it. I'll be out in Young D with me while I'm unconscious.
Yeah,
Yeah, getting blood drawn that is not fun. What hospital did you go to?
it's a great quit. I really don't know. I was born in Maryland and spent a lot of my life there.
Oh, okay,
So yeah, there was that, and yeah,
I got you. So what was life like at home for you?
it always had its ups and downs. Like there would be certain times where you know I'd just hear arguments all the time between my mother and my grandmother because they never could get along. And like there would be times where I would even argue like with them. And then there'd be times where where we could all get together, have a nice family dinner and stuff like that, and just do cookouts and actually spend time together. But that was for really short periods of time because it always seemed like it went straight back into the arguing and the fussing and the fighting. And I never really liked it as a kid, and I don't like it now. Like I'm not one to run away from conflict, but I definitely don't like it. I don't like arguing at all, and it's just yeah.
How do you think that's affected you? Like, do you feel like maybe I don't know, do you feel like you've kind of become a peacemaker or tried to become a peacemaker?
That's funny too. It's funny that you say that because even with like hazing on the football team and stuff like that, everybody calls me the peacemaker because I'm always like, yo, please leave him alone. Cause I'd hate to see him do something to you,
Yeah.
cause like it'll be five guys against one dude, and it's all be like the biggest dude. I'm like, man, you don't really want those problems,
Mm.
But it's also like it's just jokes. But then there's times where it's like where I do feel like I could be doing better. Like even with arguing, like there's sometimes where I could be like, you kind of just need to put that down and be the bigger person.
Mm.
But yeah,
All right, so you live with your mom, your grandma, and who else was in the house?
right now I'm living with my grandmother and my aunt. But back then it was always my grandma, myself, and my mother.
No other siblings?
No, no other siblings.
Oh, you're the only child?
Yeah,
Dang.
it's not all like up as it is. Because a lot of my friends that have siblings, and I remember there would be times where I'd be like, "Yo, I will trade you any day,"
Oh, yeah.
because it gets boring.
Yeah.
Like it's not the funnest thing being by yourself all the time. But
I saw this one
mm,
girl last week, and we were just joking. I was like, what's your red flag? She said if he's the only child.
yeah, that's wild.
Dang on.
No, that's
He
wrong.
ain't have no choice over that. It's kind of
What
crazy.
can I do? Like, hey mom, have another baby. Hey
Like,
mom, have
yeah.
another baby. Hey mom, like no, that's not how that works.
I used to beg my mom to give me a brother. I always wanted a little brother. Because I'd pick on my sister all the time, but, the sister, only so much you can do till she starts complaining, and then, like, oh, we gotta protect the princess. Gotta protect the
Yeah.
princess. So growing up, only child, what was it like having, I know you said they argued, but, like, your mom and grandma in the same house. Was that her mom?
Yeah, that's her mom.
Oh, boy. Yeah, that's a dynamic.
Yeah, not gonna lie to you, it really hasn't stopped.
Yeah.
Um, they're not living in the same house for sure, but they still do butt heads and stuff like that. And the more, like, the older that I got, the more I seen, and I was like, yeah, well, I mean, I'll probably be saying certain things as the same thing, but it's never like a pick and size thing. It's pick and size thing at all. It's really like more of a you're both really wrong, but if I say it, then I'm in the wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, you know, I'm gonna just let y'all do this one out, and y'all are both gonna talk to me about it, and I'm gonna tell y'all the same thing about, hey, that probably wasn't the right thing to say,
Yeah.
you know. But yeah,
So what was it like growing up without a male figure in the household? Could you tell that, or did you even know like, did you know that it was a different thing, or was like, you're like this is what everybody has?
I feel like whenever I was younger, I felt like it was normal,
Uh-huh.
but that's also because for the first probably like 3, maybe 4 years of my life, there was somebody that stepped in the role for dad, and that's just because he was there for my mom and me whenever we needed it. But other than that, like it was really like, okay, yeah, that's cool. I don't have a dad, but you know, like I really thought that like I just didn't have a dad. Like I didn't know you needed both parents. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was like, okay, yeah, my friends have a dad. That's cool. I never. It was never one of those things where I'm looking around outside, like how you see in the movies. Like I'm looking around outside. I'm like, and I see a father and son bonding, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I wish I had
Yeah.
that. No, it's really like, okay, cool.
Yeah. It's like that's their situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could definitely tell that my mom was stressed out too, cause there was like she's had to do so many different things just to make sure that she could like provide for me and stuff like that. And I knew that like she went out of her way to do certain things, and it sucked to see it. It still sucks to see it, but now I do have a father figure. It's my stepfather. He stepped in, he's filled the role, and he's done really good actually. Um, but yeah, so it just got really stressful, and I'm really hoping that I can actually do something for my mom to repay her for all her
Yeah.
shit.
I feel like every son's got that in his heart. The ones that had good moms, that's something. I don't know. That'll get you off your feet and be like, damn, I gotta keep going. I want to repay her so bad. That'd be a good feeling one day.
Gotta do it for mama. Actually,
Absolutely.
speaking of that, there's like football gloves and like back plates and stuff like that that say this one's for you for mama or this one's for you mama.
Yeah.
Like yeah, I think that's really cool.
Yeah. So going through your childhood, when did you move to North Carolina?
It's kind of like a weird story. So I was in Maryland. And I ended up having to move to Virginia, and then after that, I think I went back to Maryland. Then eventually went to North Carolina, and I moved to North Carolina my kindergarten year, so around 2012, 2011, somewhere around there. And I stayed for a little bit, and then I think I moved back to Maryland. If I didn't move back to Maryland, it was definitely Charlotte, and I stayed in Charlotte for a little bit, and ended up coming back to Sanford, and then I went to Jacksonville, North
Oh
Carolina.
my God.
I went to Jacksonville, North Carolina in like fourth grade, so around 2015, 2016, and then, good God, and then after that, I was only supposed to spend a month back and forth in Sanford, and that's been until now.
So why moving around? Is it military family?
Absolutely not. It's
Okay.
just arguments between mother and grandmother.
Okay.
It's really just conflicts within the house. Like, hey, we can't live together.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. That's chaotic, dude.
Yeah.
So what? How do you think that has that affected you? Do you think that's maybe made you look at relationships differently?
I mean, somewhat yes, but somewhat no also. Because it's like, I always told myself, hey, I'm not going to do that. And then there's also where it's like, so along with me telling myself, like, hey, that's not going to happen, da da da, stuff like that, it's like, okay, so it's never really happened. But
Mm.
then again, it's also like, yeah, it has affected it because I'm telling myself, hey, I'm not gonna do that. So it means I'm almost looking for it in a way, but I'm not looking for it. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Because even if you might know that it's not a perfect thing or a good thing, it's still home to you.
Yeah.
Which is like that's I mean that's what trauma is. And then like trauma bonding. And so you're like, man, I need to find that again.
Yeah.
That's why so many people will get in and out of toxic relationships.
Yeah.
Because even though it was bad, it was like that's what they knew as love. That's what they knew as home. That's what a real relationship is. It's
Yeah. I
kind of
mean,
crazy.
I personally don't like toxic relationships. I don't think anybody does. I'm gonna be honest. I mean, there are some people that are like, oh yeah, I need a toxic relationship.
Oh
No,
my
you
god.
don't. No, you don't. You really don't want that. That's like one of the last things that you want. It drains you, and it's just not the right place to put your mind and put yourself in. Yeah, you might think it's whatever while you're in it, but that's delusions. Like you
Mm.
really just feel like, oh yeah, this is cool. I like this. In reality, once you get out, it's like a sigh of relief. Like you're glad that you're out of it, and now you never want to go back, and you're always looking for better.
You ever had your heart broke?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Was that recent?
Let's see. It was last year,
That's recent.
actually. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was
That's
last year.
the. Hey, you said you're 17.
Yeah, I'm 17.
16's the age, brother. That's when it had. That's when it goes down.
Facts. It was actually a week before my 17th.
Uh,
So it got me in the perfect timing.
that's a rough week heading into your birthday, man.
Dude, it was really a rough month for the whole situation.
How long were y'all together?
2 years.
Whoa.
Yeah,
She just ripped your heart out.
yeah. What's it called? So I had gotten COVID, and then I had figured out that my uncle had passed away within that same week. And then the week after that, I could like kind of tell that everything was kind of going downhill. And right the week before my birthday, it just stopped. I'm like, oh, okay.
When it rains, it pours, huh?
Yeah. But now I look back at it and I laugh, and I'm just like, you learned so much.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you got a good mentor right here, big time. He was already dropping some knowledge on the previous
Facts.
episode about that.
Facts.
Yeah, that's cool, man. I don't know. I ain't had my heart broken in a while. I'm just scared to get it broke again. You know, scared to go down that road. But what's recent? Like, how's your life been going recently? Like, you been dealing with any mountains you had to climb, or you just kind of coasting down a breezeway now?
Be honest, it's not always easy. Well, actually, currently I'm dealing with some adversity in school. You know, with so recently I quit the football team. Actually, I quit on Monday, and so yeah, it's been a little bit weird, like walking around school and stuff like that. And you know, just like just like really just remembering like all the memories that I have because I'm used to spending like a smooth 80% of my time at the school, especially in my freshman, sophomore, junior year because you know there was summer workouts, then like there was school, summer workouts, there was after school practice, and sometimes there was a little bit of meetings like afterwards, and then we got games on Thursdays and Fridays, and it's just I was there all the time, and you know just walking around the school, looking back at places that I've seen before, and it's just like I'm really taking it all in, and it's kind of getting to me. Like I really don't want to leave high school yet, but I do
Yeah,
because you know I'm ready to get out there into the real world and doing my own thing. But and again, it's also like I really like this place.
yeah.
It's
I
been
respect
nice.
that.
It's been nice knowing you.
Yeah, you got to be thankful for, and that's good. You're being grateful in the moment before it's too late. You know, a lot of people like they're just like, I can't wait to get here. I can't wait to get here. And it's, I know I've said it before. Well, I said it on another podcast, but just I never wanted to grow up. Just never wanted to. I love being a kid, dude. Being a kid's the best. Then I got to middle school. Everybody hated middle school. I was like, this middle school is so fun.
Middle school really wasn't bad.
No,
I mean, I was a bad kid, but it wasn't
yeah.
bad.
But I think so many people associate certain times of their life with a bad time instead of associating it with a bunch of the little good things that were going on. And so they go, "Whoa, well, I was going through this sophomore year," and that one incident or traumatic experience define their entire year.
sophomore
And
year.
so they're like, I can't wait to get out of this. And then they get somewhere else. The next step that they wanted to get to, and what do?
Oh man, I want
Can't.
to go back to sophomore year. Like,
No, they say, I can't wait to get out of this. And they
yeah,
just run, they
that
in
too.
full sprint going through life.
Yeah, that too.
You know? It's a marathon. Slow down.
One thing I try to do is I always try to look like, well, along with like looking towards the future, I also want to look back in the past and really remember like all the stuff that I went through and you know, really like look at what's gotten me here instead of looking back at oh that was bad. And even like bad situation, I look back and I learn about what I learned about. You know what I mean? Like I look back at like me having epilepsy. I've learned how people perceive people with certain uncontrollable things like epilepsy.
Hmm.
And also, along with that, like with myself, I've learned things about myself through that time. Um, and I've also learned a lot about epilepsy. So, yeah, it's really like my past. I use my past to help me, whereas some people look at their past to really like start to get in sorrow and stuff like that.
Yeah, they kind of use it as an excuse as to why they are the way they are.
Mhm. And
Yeah.
it's like, oh yeah, I never grew up without a father. My grandparent and my grandmother and my mother were always arguing. That's why, um, that's why I'm walking around at 3 o'clock in the morning at Circle K
Mm.
doing nothing. You know what I mean? Like that doesn't make sense to me. That's what they were doing. What they were doing doesn't mean that's what you have to do.
Right.
You are your own person at the end of the day. Whatever you want to do with your life, you can do it.
Absolutely. Take control. That's awesome. What's something like right now that you're working? I know you said football. What's
Mhm.
something that you're trying to overcome and and hopefully get over pretty soon?
Well, let's see. So, along with the football thing, um, last Friday, well, yesterday, I went to the game, and I've been in media for about a smooth 5 years now. Actually, 5 or 6, something like
Dang.
that. But been in media for about a long time, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go and I'm gonna take pictures for the team because nobody was gonna be out there and stuff like that. But along with that is also like my old team, so it's like,
Yeah.
like I'm getting weird looks. Like, what are you doing out here? And I'm just sitting there with a camera, like, what do you think I'm doing? But then again, there's also like me being somewhat nervous to do certain things just because I don't want to cross any boundaries. But that's just something I gotta get over, to help myself. Because once I go ahead and I help myself, then then I'll be able to help others, and I'll be able to really get myself out there to go ahead and get this thing kicking like the way I want it
Oh yeah. So what are you trying to do with that
to. So what I'm trying to do is,
media?
so I'm trying to build my portfolio and get into college and honestly making money. Try to make money off of it now, to where I can actually put some towards my college and stuff. And I'm really thinking about taking that to either freelance or honestly just becoming a teacher in videography and photography.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, do you think are you like struggling with a support system that's like backing you in this dream that you have? Is that kind of the adversity or
Not really a struggle with the support system, but really it's really just a really big mental game. Like with me,
mm,
it's really getting into the, oh, do you really want to do this? Are you sure you want to do it? Like it's just me telling myself certain things that I know aren't true. Oh yeah, you don't really want to buy a camera whenever you could do some other things.
yeah.
You don't want to actually be a videographer or photographer. No, you said whenever you were 3 years old that you wanted to be a police officer or stuff like that, and it's like, no, I really do want to do what I say I'm going to do, and I really just got to get that through to myself. Honestly, I feel like the mental battle is one of the hardest things for people to get over.
Mm-hmm. The battle of your own mind.
Yeah, I mean it's really you against you at the end of the day, no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
like that. I have so much respect for for people in the military because it doesn't matter what branch you're in. It's really you against you at the end of the day. It doesn't matter who you're up against. It's you against you. Because at the end of the day, you said you wanted to be in the military. That was a big battle in itself, most likely.
Yeah.
Just getting over the fear of dying. That's a big battle. And I feel like, guys in the military, they fight mental battle all the time, especially in boot camp. Have you ever seen any of the boot camp videos?
Mm-hmm.
Like where they're in boot camp and it's literally just like the physical things like push-ups and sit-ups and running. You have to tell yourself, I can actually finish
Yeah.
before you can finish.
You got to convince yourself.
Indeed. It's really just about like the commitment to it too. You have to commit yourself to do the things that you're telling yourself that you're gonna do.
What's been your biggest fear through high school? Or
Dropping
really
out.
not? Do what?
Dropping out.
Really?
Yeah, honestly, I wasn't sure if I was gonna finish, and that also comes with being like a fear of my grades too. Like I was scared that my grades would be too bad and no college would accept me or anything like that. I really didn't think that high school would work out, but so far it has.
Yeah. I mean, you made it to the last year.
Indeed.
Must have done something all right.
Yeah.
So what about now? Do you have any fears going out of high school? I know you're talking about like just muscling up and really chasing the dream of putting some media stuff together, getting your portfolio looking professional.
Right now, one of my biggest concerns is getting to and through college.
Yeah.
Cause to be honest, I don't really like being at school every day.
Yeah, me neither.
I don't think a lot of people do. Like you said, and you're in college.
Yeah, I am.
A lot of people don't like being at school every day. But for me, that's another thing that would be like a mental battle. It's something. Hey, you said you wanted to do this.
Mhm.
Do it.
Yeah.
Don't shortchange yourself. Go ahead, finish what you started, and after that, it's smooth. I mean, as much as the challenges that you're gonna face in like once you actually get out of school and you start doing your own thing, it's still gonna be smoother than you thought it was because you're gonna set it up for yourself now.
Mhm. That's a big advantage you have over me is going into it with that mindset. I went into it looking at it. This is something I have to do. I didn't look at it as what a great opportunity and what a great privilege it is to even have that resource available to me. I wasn't looking at it that way. Um, that was just a selfish mindset, really. But the biggest thing is just like finding a balance because the schoolwork, like, you get that easy. That'd be fine. You ain't gotta worry about that. But everything else, I mean, it's a big adjustment. Like getting everything, balancing your real life with your school life, with your social life, and it's all gotta mesh together into something beautiful.
Yeah, honestly, I could see that being one of the struggles, like with being in college, and honestly, just out in the real world too. Like even not including school life, but just like work life in general. I can tell why that could be a struggle because depending on certain jobs and certain careers, it's probably a lot more stressful than other ones. And
Yeah.
like I could tell that I can already tell that college is going to be one of the most stressful school situations I'm probably going to go through, and it's just because it's more on my time.
Yeah. Don't look at it that way. Let it become stressful when it does. Don't go ahead and wait for it to show up as stressful. You said you was in one relationship that was toxic. Have you found yourself trying to find some more toxic relationships?
No,
Maybe not even subconsciously?
no.
No?
To be honest,
Done with that?
once I got hurt the way I did, I was like, I really told myself I don't want to go through that again, and I really meant it because I haven't been. And honestly, that's it for me. Like toxic relationships, period. Like even with, like family, like let alone like loving relationships, stuff like that. Even with family, like if me and my mother were to have a disagreement about anything, I'd sit there and I'd be like, probably about honestly 30 minutes later, I'd sit there, I'd say, "Hey, I'm wrong. I'm sorry," and we talk about it. And that's just because I don't want to have some sort of conflict in between us. Like I don't like tension.
Mm-hmm.
Tension is really what gets to me the most, because it's like I've had experiences where I've had like tension with somebody that I have a really good relationship with, and it turned me into a pretty bad person.
Mm.
Like, I was just mad all the time. I didn't like being around anyone. I didn't really want to spend time with anybody. I would isolate myself, and that's not where I want to be, like, ever. So yeah, I've made sure. I try to make sure all the time, if I'm arguing with somebody or if I have a problem with somebody, we either talk it out or we don't. But either way, I know, even if we don't talk it out, I know personally that I'm gonna be okay because I'm gonna let it go. If you wanna hold on to it, that's on you. I don't like to hold on to things.
Yeah. It's only so much room you got to hold on to stuff, good or bad. You know,
Yeah.
you got to drop some baggage every once in a while. Well, I love that. Well, I don't love it, but I love that there is a feeling of tension. It's not tangible, but both parties feel it,
Yeah.
and it's just screaming at both of y'all, waiting for one of y'all to say something.
Definitely.
That happened with me and my mom months ago, but I knew it the second I woke up, dude. This was before I went off to college, and I got up. I just shouted to my mom, "Morning, mom," and it was just a pause, and the pause was all I needed. I was like, "Nope, thumbs up." She waited. She said, "Morning." I was like, "Oh
Oh
boy,
yeah. Oh
what
yeah.
we got going on?" And for
It's like first
the
interaction.
next 30 minutes, I was just waiting. I was just waiting. And because I wasn't gonna say nothing, because I had no idea what was going on. I was like, all I was doing was just searching through my memories, like, what did I do? I thought I was on
That's
a pretty
exactly
good
how
roll
it
lately.
goes. Yeah.
Yeah, but she ended up. I go downstairs, still talking to her, and she's like, she won't make eye contact with me, and she's like shortchanging all her answers. And normally she ain't got no problem talking.
Yeah.
So I was like, something's still up. And the tension was just growing and growing and growing. I was like, I can't cut through it no more, so it's gotta have to be her. And she eventually she slammed her hand on the table. She said, I can't do it anymore. And then she finally told me what it was. I was like, okay, it won't me. Oh, we're good. But that feeling though is real, but
Yeah. It honestly
it's crazy.
sucks. And a lot of times that's where I back out. Like like you said, like your mom, she just kind of like to let go after a little bit.
Yep.
That's like one of the first, like, with my mom, whenever she has those types of moments where I can tell visibly and mentally and physically that like she's just fed up with something, and I have a feeling that I did something wrong, but I don't. But like, deep down inside, I know I did. I just straight up ask her, "What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Like, what you got going on?" And she'll either tell me or she'll straight up just leave me alone.
I don't want to talk about it.
Not right now. Right now, I'm pissed. I'm like, yes, ma'am.
Yep.
Keep it pushing.
Give us some space. That's all it is. Man, learning how to, which I guess I still really don't know, learn how to talk to your mom is a difficult thing.
Yeah, yeah,
Which is strange to say, but man, that was hard for me. I remember this one time when I told her, which when I was a kid, I was like, I would say all the time, I was like, I want to die. But I would like laugh at it. I'd be like, just smile and be like, I'm tired of this. Like, I just want to die. My parents wouldn't really say nothing about it. And then, I mean, I've been saying it for like 16 years. And eventually, like, she noticed that something was up. And she was like, what's going on? I was like, I've been saying it 16 years. I've been as forward as I can be. I was like, I want to die. And she was like, she took it as blame to her. And, she was like, well, I don't know what I could have done to do this. I was like, it's not you. I don't know what it is, but it's not you.
no, that's definitely how it goes too.
Yeah.
Like, the moment that you have something wrong with you, like, especially on that type of level, is always, what did I do wrong?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you did. Maybe we did have like a disagreement 6 months ago, but I can promise you now that's not what's going on.
Right.
I didn't let go of it. I didn't forgot about it. I don't even remember where we were at whenever we had this disagreement. But like, yeah, it's not your fault. It's just something I got going on.
What's do you ever get like real down and we'll start with that. You ever get like super down about life in general?
Sometimes I do. I try. I really try not to.
Yeah.
But I tend to have a habit like whenever I do get down, uh, and that is literally just listening to music and not talking. If I'm not talking, that usually means I have something going on with me. Then again, there's other times too where I disguise it very well, where I do have something going on with me. You'd swear that like I just won the lottery, and that's the difference between like two different types of sadness within myself. Like sometimes there's personal sadness where I'm going to be happy go lucky everywhere else, but that's just because I know I know for some reason I have a habit of bringing other people down with me whenever I'm sad. I don't know why. I don't do it on purpose, but whenever I tell people what's going on with me, a lot of times it leads to them feeling sad like a week after that. I'm like, I'm good now. Like, what's wrong with you? Like, let's talk about it. And you know, I don't like to do that to people. So a lot of times, if I have something wrong with myself, I'll deal with it with myself like I should. But then again, there's other times where it's like there's a whole bunch of outside stuff, and it's really affecting me, and it might not even have anything to do with me, but it's just being around like the tension, like we said, and all the arguments and stuff like that I don't want to go back to whenever I was younger and stuff. So I'm like, yeah, I need to talk to somebody, and yeah.
Who do you go to when you need to talk to somebody?
Well, and Trail has been on the other side of the phone whenever I needed to talk to him.
Nice.
And sometimes it can be my mom. Sometimes it'll be straight up the people that are having the problem. And see now if it's myself, I'll tend to stay with myself to myself, like I said. But other than that, like whenever it's just like a whole bunch of outside things affecting me, I do happen to come to my friends and Trail, and I'll go to family about certain things. It just depends on the situation, really.
Got you. What's been the hardest conversation you've had recently, if I can ask you that?
Hmm. Hardest conversation that I've had recently was Monday whenever I quit,
Oh yeah.
because it was weird. I quit mid season, and it was really just awkward for me to stand there and look coach in the eyes and be like, "Hey, the last 4 years were for nothing." You know what I mean?
Mm.
And it's not like I said it like that, but it's really like, "Oh yeah, like you've been seeing my face since I was in 8th grade. Um, I think I'm good now. Like I don't want to be a part of your team anymore. You know." And I feel like that's kind of how it hit him. It's a little bit how it hit me whenever I was thinking about doing it. But my reasoning was for different opportunities with my time. Um, One thing, I do value my time a lot, and I feel like football was wasting that time in a way. Not that football in total was a waste of time, but really just the time that I could have had doing other things was spent on football, and there was really no outcome of being at football
Yeah.
other than, oh yeah, I could go to a game. Oh yeah, I could ride a bus to an away game. It's just, oh yeah, I can be at practice. But other than that, it was like, this isn't doing anything for me mentally. It's not really doing anything for me physically, and it's not really doing anything for me emotionally.
Yeah, you gotta be selfish with your time. End of the day, that's all you got.
Yeah,
I don't know if I still need to value time better or more.
I,
It's a struggle for me.
I feel like a lot of people do.
Yeah.
I feel like that's one of the most, how do I say it? Overlooked thing is time. And it's just because you feel like you have all the time in the world until your clock's ticking and you run out.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, like, okay, so just recently my great grandmother passed away. Woman was 93. She was living
Damn.
her best life.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, all the stuff that she's had to deal with and everything. And my stepfather, he tells me about her all the time because him and his family, they were over there and they're all talking about, oh, my arthritis is killing me, oh, my back is killing me. And she just, I'm okay. Like, she's just cool. And
Yeah.
this woman's 93 years old just vibing with everybody. So, yeah.
That's awesome. I really hope I'm like that if I make it that old. Cause it's painful watching your grandparents. I don't know if you've had any that are like get bad in health and just need to be helped with everything, but that's painful to watch.
Honestly, it sucks seeing my mother go through it, too.
Oh yeah.
Like, my mother's going through it, my grandmother's going, like, everybody, all the older figures in my life have something going on that is, like, I can't really help other than talking to them about it and helping them, like, around, like, whatever they need. You know what I mean? So it's kind of hard on me for that, too, because I'm also, like, I want to help them as much as I can, but sometimes I just can't. And that's something I got to deal with.
Yeah, it's a hard truth to come by when you realize like most of the stuff you deal with out of your control.
Indeed.
But once you get that, you start sailing a little smoother.
Facts.
Yeah. It don't mean the waters are any calmer, but
No, like there's still sharks. Like you still
yeah,
get stoned.
yeah. Don't fall out the boat.
Please.
Yeah,
But I mean, you got Flex Seal. You know Springs Elite. You got
absolutely.
it.
Antrell, do you feel like you started like valuing time more the older you got, or did you kind of already have a good grasp on that?
No, I definitely started valuing time more when I got older. I was the type that thought certain things didn't apply to my life. I didn't have to pay attention until I got older, and then it was, I won't say a slap in the face, but all of the wisdom that I had gotten from older people, not necessarily my peers, but older people like uncles and you know what I'm saying, people that have experienced more life. When everything in my life started reflecting all of the lessons that they kind of told me, and it was like slap upside the head. I told you so. I told you so. I told you so. That's when it all clicked for me.
Okay, that makes me feel better. I try to listen. I do listen, but the my problem is applying the things that I hear.
That's everybody's problem, bro. It's not just yours.
Oh yeah, I overcoming that is gonna be a big one, but I'm gonna do it.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
gonna get there.
Oh yeah. As long as you set your mind to it and you tell yourself that you're gonna do it, you're gonna do it.
Absolutely.
You just can't give up on yourself.
So you gotta finish the race.
Facts. Finish the race. Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, I like that.
Well, look. Message of hope for people. What can you offer people to continue on their journey? Maybe take a step that's a painful step, but one that'll lead them closer to the goals that they want to achieve. What can you tell them to give them a drop of wisdom?
All right. So look. Sometimes you do have to cut people and certain things out of your life to make sure that you're okay in the long run. Sometimes it may hurt. It may hurt like hell. It may have you feeling some suicidal thoughts. It might. But as long as you just stick to it and you hang in there and you actually follow what you say you're going to do, you're going to be okay. You just got to keep telling yourself you're going to be okay. As long as you believe that you're going to be okay and that you are okay, there's nothing anybody else can tell you. You're okay. I'm okay. We're okay. Isaac, are you okay?
I'm okay.
We're okay.
Intro, you okay?
I am excellent.
There
Hey.
you go.
All right. Yeah. Remember to finish the race. Well, look, I'm gonna let you pick a cookie jar.
Before we go there, let me.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't want to hold up the podcast, but I just want to point something out.
Okay.
When I met this individual 2 years ago, this was his mindset. So I think a lot of times in life, like we don't pay attention to the signs, and when God will strategically place people in our paths to either learn from or inspire, right? So let's say 20 years ago, I had somebody in my life that just saw a young, misunderstood kid looking for guidance. And they took me in a very bad situation and said, you know what, I'm going to give you an opportunity. And that has always lasted with me throughout my life. So as I came into my position with the church and I met Kane, and we had those first, like, I wasn't even the man at that point. I was not the media director.
Okay.
It was somebody else. And then through situations that happened, I got pushed into that position, and they looked at me and said, well, who is somebody that could potentially be an understudy for you? It was a no-brainer because of the conversations that we had already had. Like, I knew where his mindset was. Like, this isn't something to take over a production company. This is not something everybody can do. But then as you sit here and listen to him talk, like, unless he says I'm only 17,
Yeah.
people ain't gonna pick up on that. And then that's the, like, you're 17?
Uh-huh.
No, I'd have thought you was 25.
Yeah.
Like, so it's just kudos to Kane where he is, and all of this is really, this is paying attention to, again, the things that happen in your life, the signs and wonders that the universe will send to us to say, are you paying attention? This is how I want to bless you, or do I have to make you wait for this another 5-10 years because you're not ready? So, again, kudos to Kane. That's my
That's
guy.
an awesome story. Yeah, I remember the first time I met you. When you came in here with Antrell, and Antrell told me, he was like, yeah, I got some of my assistants coming in here in my team. I was like, okay. Shook your hand, talked to you a little bit. I was like, yeah, he's 20, 21, something like that.
How old are you? 16.
I was like, oh, okay. I guess I'll believe you. No, that's
Actually,
crazy.
met my mother that same day too. That's
Yeah.
wild. Yeah.
Sure did. But yeah, I appreciate all you've done for the podcast,
Okay.
all your hard, diligent work. Now I'm thankful that you got in front of the camera, spoke up. Absolutely.
It's rare for me to be in front of the camera too. I'm always like,
Yeah.
But I mean, I think that's just, I'm gonna call it camera guy syndrome. I don't know a single person that works with cameras and films that actually is super comfortable being in front of the camera.
Mm. All right. Well, look, pick a cookie.
All right. So,
See what we ended on.
you took the cookie out the cookie jar. Seems like I did. What do you think about roses? Well, I'm gonna be honest. A rose might just be my favorite flower. Actually, I'm planning on getting my first tattoo to be a rose on my shoulder.
Hey.
Yeah. But yeah, like if you see me out in public or even at school, sometimes I'll have roses like all over a shirt. I have a pair of jeans that have a rose like right on the pocket. I like roses.
Why do you like them?
Well, that's a great question. Honestly, I think it really has to do with the rose in itself, the thorns on it, and how many are in there, like in a bush, and but yet it's such a beautiful flower that's represented and everything like that. But nobody likes going up to a rose bush because everybody nobody likes getting prickled. Everybody's like, oh, look at the little pretty flower, da, da, da. But it's really just like, I mean, it's really just like people don't like what they see whenever they get up close in person.
Yeah, like reaching your hand in there to get
but
one.
From a distance,
Come back out.
From a distance, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
And that could be taken into life.
Metaphor. I like roses pretty good. They're expensive. Unless you just go get them on your own.
They're definitely expensive. Man, spent $14 on two one time. Crazy.
Dang.
Crazy.
That one on the toxic relationship, was it?
Yeah.
Hey!
First date. First date was Valentine's Day. I got her a red rose and her mother a pink rose.
That's
Too
crazy,
expensive.
dude.
Yeah, no, that's crazy.
That's crazy, dude. I bought this girl one. Thought, I'd put a little note with it, make it sentimental and stuff. What a dumbass, you know? Oh, man. We'll end on that one. Why not? Kane, thank you so much, brother. Good luck to you.
No problem.
Keep your chin up like you said. Keep going. Follow the dream. I can't wait to see what you're going to do. You're going to shock the world, dude. Absolutely, you are. Finish that race. Y'all finish the race, too. Thank you so much for listening. We will see you next time.